Hello everyone, welcome to our Thoughts and Education program by College Dunia. Today we have Shri Kamal Nanavati, President Strategic Development Reliance Industries Limited and member of governing body of Plastindia International University. Sir, I would like to ask you some questions that will help students coming to our website to understand Plastindia International University in a better way. So, sir, beginning with my first question is it is our pleasure to meet the stalwart of the plastic industry like you. Being the person who has lived the era with plastics in India, how do you see the journey and future of the plastics as career in India?
Dave, thank you very much for inviting me to share my thoughts. What I will just say that this is probably by far the material of future. If you see the evolution of humanity and how, but what is a significant change, the quality of life, longevity, and in everything that has happened is on account of macromolecules or what we call polymers. This is really way forward. If you see, most of the polymers were invented, less than 100 years ago, and in this 100 years, what humanity has progressed is there is nothing in parallel. Just imagine, had it not been for polyester, how would people would have gone on about? There's not enough cotton available for people to wear clothes. The biggest contribution that polyester made was to make sure that clothing become affordable. And that's also freed up a lot of agricultural land for food production. So it's really a fantastic thing that happened. Then it comes to other polymers like polyethylene, polypropylene, right from managing supply of water on the farms, what we call plastic culture, drip irrigation, mulching, greenhouses, what have you, to increase productivity of crop per given land area to feed the growing population. Then packing the crop from the farm all the way to the shops and to the home, what we call farm to fork. That itself would not be possible had it not been for plastics. Then it comes to mobility. The today's vehicle that you see, whether it is two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, had it not been for plastics, the bumper, the dashboard, the steering wheel, what have you, these are all made of advanced polymers. Had it not been for them, the material, there is just no substitute to these things. So it's really phenomenal contribution plastic has made. Just imagine what happened during COVID. Had it not been for the masks that you wore and the PPE gowns that were there for the hospital staff and others to go around, the disease could have wiped out large number of people. So there are variety of areas where the what we call polymers are really miracle polymers, the miracle materials that really has happened. As India goes from $3.5 trillion to double its size in, let's say, 5-6 years, the vision of our Prime Minister, and then further, and becomes, third largest economy globally, you can imagine that what amount of polymers would be required for India to make that, journey and make that happen. For that, Plastindia International University is by far the only institution with its collaboration with University of Massachusetts, the most sought after university for higher education in plastics engineering, will provide the best of the education at your doorstep. If you look at Plastindia International University at Vapi, around that there are thousands of plastic converting units. The one most important thing that students need to keep in mind is that while elsewhere they have to really struggle to really find an employment, here there'll be companies waiting to hire them. This is the advantage that PIU at Vapi is there. So it really is a phenomenal combination of high-class education and opportunity for value addition in your life as soon as you graduate. Available only from one campus called PIU at Vapi. Thank you.
Totally agree with your point, sir. So moving to our next question. Plastindia International University is taking shape as you mentioned, and you are one of the member of governing body. Please tell us something about Plastindia International University and your journey so far.
Let me first talk about the Plastindia International University. Today, India is at the takeoff stage as far as polymer consumption is concerned. We are at just about a short of almost about 18, 19, say 20 million tons of polymer consumption. Over next 5, 7, 8 years, this consumption will have to really double. Typically, the consumption of polymers is twice the GDP growth. If the GDP is growing at, let's say, 7%, you're looking at 15% growth of polymer consumption. And 15% compounded annual growth, you double your consumption. So you're looking at 35 to 40 million tons of consumption happening over the last 5 to 7 years time frame. This will require many plastics engineers, to really go and support the industry for its growth. Number one. Number two, the whole world is looking at China plus one. The biggest supplier of plastic products to the whole world is China. And post-COVID, the whole world has decided that they must have alternate supply, and India is strategically positioned to fill up that void. So here again, there is, so really is a phenomenal opportunity that Plastindia International University will open up. And that's why we collaborated with University of Massachusetts in Boston, which is the longest serving institution for plastics engineering globally. And we have the best partnership available. So our undergraduate program, our graduate program, and our research and our postdoctoral program, as the time evolves, will be the most attractive campus in this part of the world. And we're going to look at opportunity to really invite students not only from India, but also from neighboring countries to make this really an international campus. Thank you.
So, sir, if India wants to be a major global player in the field of recycling and sustainability, how university like Plastindia International University will play the role?
Very interesting question. I think, you touched upon a subject which is of great concern and importance. For your information, United Nations today is actively engaged in addressing the subject of plastic pollution. 170 nations are, had meetings starting with, Uruguay, then it was Paris in France, then it was Nairobi, last was in Ottawa, and one more meeting will take place end of the year in South Korea, where 170 nations will meet together under the United Nations umbrella. How best we really deal with what they call the whole critical issue of plastic pollution. And therefore, plastic circularity. You see, one great thing about plastic is that being a macromolecule, it's something which can be easily recycled, provided the handling of waste is handled properly. The classic case in India is a city called Indore. It has been given the cleanest city award year after year after year after year. If you go to city of Indore, you never find anything. They really segregate the plastics. So one beautiful thing with plastic is that if you segregate the waste out of it, then it can be easily recycled. The mechanical recycling is possible. As a matter of fact, the PET bottle that you see today, Reliance Industries, a few other companies have mastered the technology of converting used PET bottle back into fabric and into wearable apparels. So that is the kind of thing we are doing. So it's a product which has an endless life. It's really nothing. If you look at the overhead water storage tank, if you look at PVC ducting, just imagine insulation of cables. How would you really commute and transfer electricity had it not been for the cable insulation, which is PVC or crosslink polyethylene, high tension cables there. So it's really everywhere. Look at electronics. You and I are talking today, right? The mobile phone that you have, the computer that you have. Had it not been for plastics, this conversation would not have been just possible. So we are omnipresent, we are everywhere. And therefore we need engineers to make further innovations, go further into this. And nothing of this can be really waste. If plastic post-usage waste can be handled, it is absolutely, it's a really value-added material.
Quite interesting to know, sir. So, sir, moving to our next question, what makes Plastindia International University special? Something different than other conventional university.
As I mentioned, Mihir, that this one university will fill up the most required vacancy that we have is talent. As our industry will double in size, we need qualified engineers to really fill up and work in the industry. So one greatest thing that the student, what is the biggest anxiety a student has as he graduates? Where would he find an employment? Here, Day he graduates, there'll be, before he graduates, of course, there'll be campus interviews. I'm pretty confident that every deserving student will have 5, 6, 7 job opportunities, which is unlike any other field of engineering. He'll have a choice to make. Where should I go and work with company A or company B or company C? He doesn't have to worry about it. That's the biggest relief. And I can assure you that the kind of starting salary that they'll probably get would be enough to pay for their entire 4 years education in just first year itself. So you have a very, very, very unique opportunity where day you graduate, you have a job, a good job, and you start your career. A very fast rise is possible if you work hard, which I'm sure all your students will work hard. And all your expenses of 4 years plus will be paid back in just 1 year or maybe even less. There is no campus in India can offer this future that Plastindia International University can offer. A short job from day one, good pay, and bright career. Number one. Number two, those who want to go abroad and study for further higher education and specialize it, collaboration with University of Massachusetts will open up that door. There'll be, during the 4 years itself, there'll be opportunity to go and do some semesters over there. So there'll be an exchange program. Also, all sorts of things will open up. This collaboration is very, very, very unique.
Totally agree with you, sir. Very bright future for students who are interested in careers in plastics. So moving to our last questions, as you have said, this is a university established by the industry. What kind of benefits it brings to the students?
As I said, the best benefit you have is that the day you graduate, you have a job. Number one. Before that, there'll be training program, which so the students will have a chance to go and work in the summertime, and shop floor training they can get in the university, in the industry just around. There are over 1,000 units in the area just around Vapi. So, your summers are not wasted. You get training over there. So, you really have a make-up mind whether you want to work in extrusion unit, you want to work in the molding unit, when you work into, really high funda area. Choice is yours, really. What really gives you excitement? There'll be labs over there to really teach you. You can use your hands to really work with the equipments. You can know how to really operate a blown film line, a molding machine. All those things you learn in the university itself.
Okay, sir, that's all from our side. Thank you for giving us your valuable time and sharing all your knowledge and experience with us.
Maybe anytime. I will welcome this opportunity to, once you get a group of students together and if they want to ask us questions, we'll be more than happy to meet with them. I will also have other entrepreneurs to join me and answer questions that university and the students have for this. But please remember one thing. This is the only campus, when you graduate, you have a job in your hand and you pay back your 4 years of cost in just 1 year itself, or even maybe less. No campus offers you this. That's the best message that you can tell the students. The industry will double in size in 5 years from now. There is a huge scope for growth for all the students who graduate out of PIU. Thank you.